against the wall. Like,
and
it
that's
is an awkward
position
place.
noodles. It doesn't for play. I mean, you go to all the building. That one doesn't exactly look inviting. You're basically on the Oilers bench.
It is. You are. And there's certain spots. Like Ray loves being between the benches. I like being between the benches in a safe spot. Like Ottawa's got a nice safe spot there, even though I've been conked twice there. But if I was in that building, I'd be like, I'm upstairs. I don't want all that traffic. I don't need all the people. But Ray is right in the mix there. And same thing in Dallas. He's literally on the Stars bench. Like the backup goalie, I think, sits right there. And you're like having to look and find sight lines. It's in certain buildings, I'm like, put me upstairs. I've got better views.
Yep.
He's right in the mix.
Oh, he loves it, man.
And he's great at it. It's
in the trenches.
It is in the trenches because you can't tell a guy to sit down. Like, I don't know how many times, like, there's D that stand, like, Thomas Chabot likes to stand, like, 30 seconds before he goes out. So I'm not going to knock on the glass, go, can you sit down? I'm trying to watch the play. Like, you got to watch your monitor and go around him. Like, that's the hazards of doing color when you're right in the mix because certain guys have their routines and you're not going to break them because you're trying to find a sight line. So it's pretty interesting stuff.
Some guys would have the audacity to be like, hey, sit down. And
Ray would.
Ray might. Ray, hey, sit down. I'm trying to call this.
Yeah.
Speaking of calling, did Jack Nicklaus get a call from Rory McIlroy about pulling the chute at the Memorial? We have an answer on that. We'll get into it. And, of course, we're continuing to look ahead to Game 4 tonight. And always on the clock up until 7 p.m. Making pitches for bringing back the Core 4. Making the pitch.
Got another one.
You've got another one? All right, we'll hear it. We'll get to it. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mike Johnson in about 15 minutes. Confirm or deny in about 40 minutes. It is a big golf week this week. The Memorial down in Ohio. Jack Nicklaus. Beautiful course. Always plays really tough and always gets a great field. It's an elevated event, right? Tigers, the Genesis, Arnold Palmer, and Jack Nicklaus. Every single year, those guys' tournaments are going to be huge and have a massive amount of money on the line. And generally, everyone plays in it. And especially for Nicklaus, right? Like, Nicklaus generally is a guy where players are like, I got to kind of be there. For the most part, anyway. Not for everybody, but for the most part. And as we know, McIlroy will be at the RBC Canadian Open next week. So McIlroy's like, I'm gearing up next week, and then you got the U.S. Open the week after that. So Jack Nicklaus, did his press conference today from Muirfield Village, and he was asked about the Rory situation. You guys want to hear this?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Aware until basically the rest of us that Rory wasn't coming?
I was sort of aware of it about the middle of last week.
And so it sort of surprises you, I guess, that he's not?
Yeah, it surprised me, but guys have got schedules and got things they do, and I haven't talked to him for him to tell me why or why not. That's just his call. I made a lot of calls that I had to make when I played to play or not play, and sometimes it wasn't as popular as people thought it was. But sometimes you have to make those calls. I don't hold anything against Rory for that. He did what he likes to play. I know he likes to play so many in a row. He likes to play the week before a U.S. Open, and so that's what he's doing. So, I really don't have a comment on this. It's very difficult, very difficult. I mean, I'm a big Rory fan, always have been, and I'm sure that will remain that way.
Classy answer, man.
Yeah.
It's
like
big when
Rory,
McIlroy.
What's crazy is Rory apparently called this guy to pick his brain about the do's and don'ts of Augusta and like a kind of refresher on the way Jack played the course, and so you go through all that and you don't have the decency to at least place a call and call the guy and say, look, man, I'm committed to the Canadian Open. I'd like to play the week before. I just can't do it, and I can't show up. You can't call the guy.
That, I think, is where Rory's taken some heat. Again, it's, we were talking about giants of the industry, giants of the sports world. Like, Nicklaus is so classy.
Yes.
And, that's an incredible answer. I made decisions that were tough. I know, blah, blah, blah. I'm a big McIlroy fan. But it's his tournament. And McElroy's McElroy. And he's
I
not
love
there.
the fact that Jack said that, though. He goes, you know what? Basically what he was saying was, I pulled the pin on some things, too, when people weren't happy about it.
Yep.
So this stuff happens in pro golf.
For sure.
But
For sure.
he basically was saying that does happen, but I think you can just tell by his gestures and the expressions, a phone call would have been a little bit helpful.
Yeah, a little
with
Right.
the relationship that we have.
Yes.
Agreed.
Exactly. And we'll hear from McElroy, interestingly enough, next week up at TPC Toronto. That's the next time we're going to see him and hear from him. And I guarantee you he's going to be asked, how do you respond to Nicklaus and all that? But this is the beauty of a guy like him. He picks his schedule. He's entitled to that. He's missed elevated events. I don't believe he played at Harbour Town. He doesn't play in Hawaii to start the year.
Yeah.
Dude, this might be
Yeah.
a decoy, so he doesn't have to answer the questions about his driver, because he
yes.
did not speak at the last major for 4 days in a row after his driver was tested and taken out of his bag.
Yeah, and I get the impression that that's why he didn't speak, because he was bent out of shape, that his name got out when it's not supposed to. Right. Apparently that happens a lot. They test randomly like a third of the field, and I think it was Schauffele that said actually Scheffler's had an issues too or something like that, and no one said anything to him, and it didn't go public. But I think McElroy was like, why is my name out there? Like, why is this being tagged on me? But I think you might be onto something. Yet I'm sure he's figured it out by now, and he's going to have the right. He'll have a QI 35 in the bag next week. I guarantee it. And I am mashing that, just for the record.
Oh, yeah?
Me and Rory. I am mashing the QI 35.
Dude, it's
I
a
love
sick
it.
driver,
It's my favorite
man.
driver, man. It's so good. All right, hour 2 coming up. Mike Johnson will join us. Confirm or deny coming up as well. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We got Mike Johnson coming up here this hour. Confirm or deny a little bit later in the hour. I've got to tell you guys about what I witnessed on a group chat last night.
I can imagine what it is.
It is, it's quite something. It is. It's very. I think every parent will understand where
Just
maybe
give it to
both
us.
sides
What
are
is
coming
it?
from.
You can't leave us hanging now. What is it?
So, my youngest started playing soccer, right? We're only a couple weeks into this, and you guys know how it works when you have young kids.
How old?
6 years old.
Yeah.
The snack schedule is a massive priority, right?
Yep.
And everyone gets allotted a week, and it's your responsibility to bring a snack for after the game, right? Big stuff. Remember when
We're
we were
talking
kids?
granola bars and oranges. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember when we were kids, you get orange slices. That was
That's
it.
it.
That's what you got in a bag. I remember a plastic bag, and someone would throw it on the grass and be like, "Go ahead, you can
Yeah.
have that." There's
Yeah.
nothing.
And
more.
then
I don't
After,
remember my
if you
parents
were
ever
lucky,
bringing
your,
anything.
your parents might bring you to Subway after the game. if
Maybe
you're lucky.
you'd go get something, like
Yeah.
maybe a Dairy Queen at the height of summer or something like that. But it would be orange slices in a
That's
Kmart
it.
bag,
Yes.
thrown on the field, being like, "Go ahead, that's what you get." So now it's every parent has a week. Someone's got to bring it, whatever. Well, the parent forgot last night.
Oh, no.
So what happens on the way home? In the team group chat, another parent puts him on blast for not bringing the snack and reminds everyone how important the snacks are.
Oh.
And the kids are really not handling it well. And then that parent's got to come back with I didn't realize and totally forgot. And then other people are getting in. And I'm watching this thinking, this is lunacy. This is a 6-year-old soccer snack schedule group chat where now people are coming basically to blows verbally online. And how awkward is this going to be next week when we have to show up and play again?